art is very often thought that I make an image, an object, and it is between my intention and what the onlooker can see that the real art takes place. And this is important because, some of these tapestries I'm showing in this exhibition is 25 years old. And what I intended then, 25 years ago, I even see different, and I'm sure that an onlooker with their response will see something quite different. That's good. That's exciting. How I got started to make tapestries is quite a complicated situation. I know that I heard Hannah Ryggen talking about her piss blue on the radio, but people often think it's her tapestries that inspired me. No, it was her voice. I heard a woman who actually in her life had found something that filled all her days with interest, throughout her life. And that's what I was looking for. My first education was in Leeds in England. I went to an art school there quite by chance. It happened to be an extremely good art school, probably the best in Europe at the time. I must say that 20 years of my life I've also been teaching tapestry, textiles in general, and I was invited back to the school some 5 years afterwards to be a teacher of something called experimental textiles. And then the idea was that all the different craft area was invited into something called fine art department. That means that we never talked about whether it was art or whether it was craft. It was all different ways of expressing visual ideas. I was quite surprised when I came back to Norway in '59 and felt that there was such a division, that there were craft was something, art was something else. I found that quite shocking. But now, whether you use video, whether you use photography, or whether you use textile in any form, that's not the important part. The important part is what you want to convey. If we talk about the technical side of tapestry, it's the forever crossing of the warp and the weft. But a cross also make a plus sign. That means the addition of the actual weaver with her thoughts and her imagination to make an actual tapestry. Well, I think I've been working, learning and understanding tapestry for a number of years, and I made huge figurative tapestries, but I had a nagging feeling in the back of my head that there is more to a woven tapestry material than just a flat piece on a wall. So one day when I was in my studio, I happened to see a tapestry being folded on the table. And that was like an Eureka moment. It's got two sides, and the two sides are identical. There's possibilities in that for making a tapestry in different ways in the room to use the space very much more active. But I will say that right from the beginning, I was very aware of that this must not become an empty gimmick. It's very important that my bearing ideas, my initial ideas, get strengthened and clarified by using the room to show the tapestry. I traveled up to Nordland in 1 June in the summer of '95, and I was just absolutely overwhelmed by Norwegian nature, by what I saw of flowers. Generally, everything was as good as nature can be. And I thought, will the future on this planet be able to see what I saw on that journey up to Nordland? So back in my studio, I made the first sort of tapestry called Artificial June. That was, at the time, the most pregnant way I could say, I'm concerned. I'm concerned for nature. I have to make some sort of comment about it. With the invasion of Iraq, I just felt enormous fury. You only do sometimes in your life. You think, oh, my goodness, I'm hungry. And so thousands of people out in Europe, they marched the streets to try and make a protest against the invasion of Iraq. You know, where war goes on, war had gone on all my life. Well, it's an Afghan proverb, you know, and it seemed to me very apt on what is going on in Afghanistan and what's been going on there over time. It's like an endless terror. The victim in a war is always two sides. I mean, they are the kind of clothes or the materials, imitation of the materials that the soldier will use. So that immediately you will think, okay, this has got to do with trying to hide yourself. It's something to do with tapestry, that in front of a weaver you have a long length of warp, and it kind of beckons the weaver to use its imagination, to use his thinking and make images along the warp. And that is 17.5 meters long, and as I've woven the ends together, it's got no beginning and no end, it just goes on and on. And I call it actually also variable. It means that the tapestry can be presented different in different room or a different wall, which is also a side of what I've been trying to do with my tapestries. The base of all my tapestry are drawings, but sometimes, quite often, I spend more time on the preparatory work than I actually do on the weaving. The weaving is sort of meditative. You've got to concentrate on every thread you put in. And, you know, up in our brain, we got thousands of little nerve ends. Imagine you take a bundle of these nerve ends and you put it into the tapestry by sorting out carefully and thoughtfully each thread, one thread upon another thread, till you reach the image that you are looking for.